Berthier carbines. I like these things, don't quite know why. They're just a little bit different. They're handy, they're light, fairly easy to use. We got a variety of them here. This one's the 16. This was made in 1917. Of course, none of them are matching. You very rarely find them matching because the French at the end of the war were forced to scour the battlefields for whatever they could find and piece them together and keep them that way. When something broke, they just took something else and shoved it in there, and that's how they kept them going. This is the 3-shot model. The original, with this one right here, the 1892 Musketoon. This was the 5-shot model. This is the 3-shot model. Uses a Mannlicher clip, 3-shot. This particular one was made 1894, I believe it was. Let's see if I can get a look at that. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. 1894. Yeah, that's what it was. Whoopsie. This is the 5-shot Mannlicher clip. Goes to this one. And if you shoot these rifles like I do, you have the choice of buying from Privy or buying the brass from Privy and reloading it yourself, and that's what I do. It's not a hard cartridge to reload. It's very, very similar to the 8mm Mauser, and why not, considering the Germans stole this cartridge from the French and turned it into... just lost the light. That's nice. I thought I had an 8mm round here, but I guess I don't. Okay. This one back here is another 1892 Musketoon. I believe it was. No, this is this is another 16. I'm sorry. Pretty much a parts rifle. You know, the bore is extremely well worn in it. A lot of these war rifles were. You can see this was 1918 on this one, and it's missing the handguard. A few other little pieces. One of the stock lugs is gone, and this is actually partially matching. The stock at least matches the barrel and the receiver, but of course nothing else matches whatsoever. This is not a shooter, just part of the collection. One of my wall hangers. This one, however, and this one are both shooters. It is possible to shoot the 1892 3-shot with the 5-shot clip. You'll notice it sticks down a little bit. Just load it with 3 rounds and let it stick out the bottom. It's not going to hurt anything. Both of these have nice tight bores. Oh, here's the 8mm cartridge right in front of me. Same bullet. You can take a look here. You can see how tight that is. The crown is really good on this one. And almost as good on this one. That's 8mm Mauser. And like the 8mm Lebel, that's a 323 diameter bullet. Let's see, anything particularly special about these rifles I was going to point out? No, except how nice and handy they are. Great war rifles. I also, they are end marked. The ones I shoot are. Let's see if I can get a better look at that now that we've lost the light. It's a little harder. Halogen bulbs, they wear out. There we go. Oh yeah. That's an end mark. That indicates it's been opened up a little bit to take the larger machine gun bullets they came out with during the First World War. This one has it on both barrel and receiver. See if we can get a look at that. No, it doesn't want to focus from here. Oh well. And you can see they're not matching. Now with these Berthiers, the only thing I don't particularly like about them is the fact you do need a tool to take the bolt off. Got to take that screw out, rotate the bolt head, and then you can slide the bolt out. Now I always wondered what happens if you lose the screw or you lose the screwdriver, and you got to get that son of a bitch apart quick. Don't generally like weapons that come apart, at least the bolts, dependent on tools. But they are fun shooters. You know, they're fun to take out and just bang away, have fun with it. And you can see on the buttstock of this one, those little dimple marks there. That's from the firing pin being pressed into the stock by soldiers taking the bolt apart. Very common thing to see in a lot of rifles. See it on Mauser sometimes too, despite the fact they often have the tool. And there was oh yeah, nice little stock repair there. Now we'll take a look. Let me open the bolt here. And we can take a look at that bolt head. Anybody who's familiar with the Mosin Nagant We recognize that extractor right away and the basic design of the bolt head. It's not identical, but it's pretty damn close, and not surprising. There was a lot of stealing of ideas back and forth amongst the European powers during this time period, 1892. This was one of the rare examples, these carbines, particularly this one. This is the original, where first came the carbine and then came the rifle. This was what was developed first, and then they made it longer, put a longer barrel on it, and they made it into the MLe 1907-15 rifle during the First World War. French needed another infantry rifle, and they got a quick one simply by making the carbine bigger, giving it a thicker barrel, and that's that. Left the action, everything else the same. But I always kind of liked them, and I've got the, like I said, I have the 1907-15 rifle also. I don't have it out right now, and I got several LeBels, including LeBel carbines, and they're all a lot of fun. And not everybody particularly cares for the French rifles. I like them. They're an acquired taste. They're a little different. You know, as you can just tell by looking at that, it's a little different. It's not your average Mauser or typical Enfield or anything like that. This has kind of got its own thing going on. And I think that does it. The Berthier carbine.